Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Mama Watoto Talks. This talk comes to you from a place of peace and love. Today we are going to have another sit down, a talk. Mama Watoto is all here. So today's topic is about the past. The past is a very heavy topic. And without the past, there would be no present. So every one of us has a past. And the past can be a very heavy thing. Or, depending on how we take it. So we all have a past. Some of us have, painful memories from the past, a lot of us. And apart from the painful memories, we also have very good and happy memories about the past as well. But let us talk about the painful memories, because those are some of the things that hold us back in so many ways and hinder us from moving on with our lives as we should. These are some of the things that are stopping us from living our full potential. So the past, yes. What do we like? I really don't know. I really don't know where to start, because where do we even start with the past? I'll probably want to base it on some of my own experiences as usual. But like I've said before, I try to be a very positive person. I try to see the good in life and the good in many situations. Despite some of the things that I've gone through in the past, I just try to have a positive outlook towards life. So the past, when most of us go through difficulties, maybe in our childhood, and the things that happened to us when we were very young and we were powerless, and most of the time we could not defend ourselves because we didn't know we didn't know what to do, and we're just children. So there's so much that a child can do in terms of defending themselves from harmful experiences. Some of the things that happen to us, even our own parents don't know. Even some of our family members are not aware of them. But people have gathered different experiences from the past based on their surroundings, or even from their immediate household, depending on who you grew up around. So along the way, a lot of us carry these past experiences in our hearts of hearts, and many of us probably have not even shared the things that happen to us with other people. But what I've realized is that the past has a way of holding us back big time, and it will largely contribute to the way we carry on, day to day, our future. It contributes to our future as well. It contributes to our thinking, the way we think, the way we solve issues. And the worst part of it is that it can act as a block, as a stumbling block for us to be able to move past that hurt or past that past. It can be very difficult, because there's so many things that can happen in life that can trigger and take us back to the events, things that happened to us when we were younger that maybe were not so pleasant. So a lot of us are suffering in different ways. People are suffering in very different ways. Some people maybe went through intense poverty. Some people lacked food sometimes when they were growing up. Some people were neglected. They didn't have their parents, watching over them, or parents were probably not available to them in one way or another. People are dealing with very many different things about their past. So this can affect people. And then some people will end up being, turn out to be very angry and very bitter people, and very negative and very pessimistic, or very, they don't see the good in any situation. And sometimes it's because they have spent so much time in that heart, in that, they've been soaking themselves in that negativity in such a big way that it formed a major part of their lives. And it helped them, maybe they were trying to cope in different ways, and people cope in different ways. So maybe they formed this outer layer, or this person that they are, based on what the experiences that they went through, and it just turned them into a whole new person. And that is the way that they've been coping with that past. So it's very difficult for them to see past that and to change into a new person, it's not easy for them. So people are dealing with different things. So whenever we encounter people and they seem to have issues in coping, they seem to have, problems in day-to-day life, in communicating with people, in getting along with people, like, sometimes you have to stop and think that maybe it has nothing to do with me or the person or their personality. Maybe they have a past that is hindering them from moving forward and from forming this, creating this new person, because that is the way that they've been. They program themselves to be like that, maybe to protect their inner self. So it's just a whole lot of things that can happen in someone's life that can end up turning them into a new person. So we have to realize that in life we want to grow and we want to create new and better experiences around us. So at some point we have to let go of what happened to us so that we start building new memories, because it will be sort of a bit difficult for you to live a fulfilling life in your current life if you don't let go of that baggage, because it does become like a baggage, like a tumor behind your back, and you've been holding on to it for so long, and this load is so heavy on your back, but you're so used to having it on you that sometimes you don't even notice that you're carrying it around with you, wherever you go. And so yeah, like I've said, it can hinder you from living a full life and enjoying what you have right now, because maybe every time you're not able to let go and let loose and be, you're not able to create room for new experiences because of the things that happened to you in the past, because you're so hurting, and being in that state of constant pain can be so familiar that some people maybe don't even know how to be happy anymore, because the only way they've known how to cope or how to go through life is to just be sad, because they had a past that was difficult and things were not good. But now we have to remind ourselves that time has passed, and whatever happened to you is in the past. We're not saying that we need to forget about it and move on like it didn't happen, because again, you have to sit in your reality and face your past and tell yourself that much as this happened, and it was not within my power to stop it or to do anything about it, but that time is now gone, and right now I am a different person. I'm in a different place. Maybe I'm able to defend myself better. Maybe I'm able to speak up. I'm able to take care of myself in a way that I could not take care of myself back then. I'm a new person. Or maybe you had some harmful practices, even as an adult, maybe in your younger teen years, the things that you were doing with yourself in life that were not making you, the best of people to be around. But over time, you've grown and you've learned better, and you've adopted new ways of living. So it's just best that you let that part of you go and you start enjoying the new you, because you probably worked so hard to shed off, the outer layers. It's just like a boiled egg. You cannot eat an egg with shells. So if you want to eat an egg, you have to peel off, the outer layers of the egg, and finally you reach the inside, then you reach the yolk. And so if you want to, you then enjoy delicious meal of a boiled egg, but you cannot walk around with this shell and expect that you are going to be happy in life. In the long run, you will end up not only hurting yourself, but also hurting the people around you, your friends, your children, your relatives, your immediate family. You'll not be able to really cope, and people might end up finding you to be a very difficult person to be around. But maybe on the inside, you're just a good person. Maybe you're just not understood. So the past can be something that we can learn from. We can learn to embrace our past and to sit in our truth and to admit, to face the things that happen to us without allowing them to bring us down, and to relieve that part of us. Like you start living that account of what happened to you back in the days. Whatever happened. Now we're moving on. We're creating this new persona. We're creating this new person. We're meeting, new people, or we're meeting the same old people, but they're beginning to appreciate the new us. So I just wrote some notes down so that I don't end up forgetting some pointers, and I'll just see if I've tackled everything. So again, one thing that I wanted to mention is that from time to time we have to remind ourselves about the things that could be triggering our past, and probably stop ourselves from returning to that pit of pain, like from our past. Like if there's anything, you know, at some point as we grow up, we notice the repeat patterns, things that we know that if I go that direction, it's going to take me back to my past, and it will take me back to that pit of darkness where I am not happy, where I go back to maybe those harmful practices that were not healthy for me. So we just have to learn to know what can trigger us into going back there, and just, you know, try to direct ourselves in another road, in another channel, in another new adventure. And then I guess another thing that I wanted to mention is that we can also start living a wholesome life, you know, a healthy life, a life with balance, where we are balancing, you know, our physical, our spiritual, our, you know, everything is a balance, because then when there's that imbalance, then again we suffer. So what are we feeding ourselves as people? What are we feeding ourselves in terms of food, or in terms of content, or in terms of the people around us? I think it's something that I've said before. So we are continuously in that state of trying to create this wholesome, beautiful person that is pleasant to be around, that our children want to be around, that our co-workers want to be around, that our spouses want to be around. And then another thing that I also wanted to mention is that if you're living with people or working around people, then we also have to notice that maybe those people also went through some rough experiences that probably are contributing to them being the kind of person that they are today. So if you're walking into a relationship or in a marriage, or just friendship, we have to realize that apart from us coming into the relationship with our past, which we should not, or our experiences, we have to make allowance and know that the other person also has a story. You know, we all have a story. So, and probably look at the way our stories can contribute to us being better people. Because the best thing about our past is that we want to learn from it, and we want to avoid repeating the same things that happen to us. We don't want them to happen to our children. We want it to turn into something that is, you know, passing on from one generation to the other. Some of these habits or some of these things that happen can be broken. So we work together with our families, with our friends, with our partners, in order to create, you know, a better environment for us right now. So I guess, you know, the past and life is like a book. So every time we write our story, we add new and interesting parts and wholesome parts. It's like cooking a meal. The more we add a new and interesting bits, the positive stories, the lesser we access the negatives and the bad things that happen to us, and keep filling our mind with all the beautiful things that are happening around us. And that can only happen again through gratitude. I've talked about gratitude before. When we continuously remind ourselves of the things that we're grateful for, a lot of things are not working out at the moment, but there's also so much that is working out. You know, you're alive. That's one thing. It's a plus. You wake up in the morning and you take your gratitude notebook and you write, you know, you ate 1 meal or 2 meals a day. That's perfect. My parents and my siblings and my relatives are doing fine. You know, they're healthy. They're not sick, so that's another plus. My children are up and running and healthy, if you have children, so that's another plus. So, you know, we continuously remind ourselves of the things that are working out, and of our current situations, and all these things that we're grateful for, and, you know, just praying for new and better experiences to fill our personal book, you know, chapters, you know, book of life. You know, we write that book. We keep writing new stories of ourselves every other day, so that at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, at the end of this journey, you know, you look back and you see more of this new, wholesome and beautiful person that you become, and less of the painful past that was a part of you back then. You know, let it be something that remains, you know, the farthest back of the past, the farthest pit, like right back into the past, so that it does not interfere with who you are trying to become right now. So I guess that's what I wanted to talk about. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any other topics that you'd like us to talk about, feel free to share on the comment section. And thank you so much for subscribing to my channel if you already have. If you have not, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell for more videos like this from Mama Watoto. Asante sana. Have a beautiful day and keep growing. Keep reinventing yourself to be the best version of yourself that you could ever be. I wish you all the happiness in the world from Mama Watoto. Asante sana, and thank you for watching Mama Watoto Talks. Thank you.